Today at noon, the Dodge County Sheriff is investigating a homicide in the town of Lebanon.
This is News 3 at noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 on this Friday afternoon. We'll get to those stories in just a bit, but first let's head over to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Chris Reese has a look at our first alert weekend forecast.
That's right, and it's going to be one of those weekends where you start out dry, but then things end on a wet note. And already we've kind of seen that mix of sun and clouds out there, at least today. Temperature-wise, we're at 45 degrees right now, so that is good news. We are seeing those temperatures begin to respond. The Del's still at 39, though, same for our friends over in Viroqua. So we've all been kind of teeter-tattering between the upper 30s and the low to mid 40s all day long, and that's all because of that filtered sunshine that we have had in place. But what we're watching for the weekend, it's a storm system bringing some light rain to Iowa right now. That will be working its way across Wisconsin, bringing with it chances for a lot of rain, especially as we go from Saturday and into Sunday. But then another system will be arriving just in time for Election Day. I'll be talking what you can expect for the Election Day forecast coming up as we get towards Maine weather, Mark.
And it sounds like it could be a lot of rain.
It could be a lot of rain. Next week, I believe, could be a wild week around here.
All right, we'll check back in a few minutes. Thank you, Chris. Topping our news today, we are waiting to learn more about a homicide up in Dodge County. Deputies got called to a house on Red Wing Road, that's just outside the town of Lebanon, about 6:15 last night. They found a man's body at that house, though it's still not clear how exactly he died. Officers say they do have a suspect in custody on unrelated charges as they continue to investigate. They're still working to identify the victim and notify his family. Madison police investigating an armed robbery at a sandwich shop on the city's west side. Police responded to Melio Subs in the 400 block of Commerce Drive near Mineral Point Road in the Beltline just before 9 o'clock last night. They say a lone gunman in the store, or a lone employee that is, in the store reported a person entering the store with a black handgun and demanded he hand over the money in the cash register. Anyone with information asked to call the Madison Police Department. President Trump hits the road again today for a pair of rallies in places where he still has a lot of support, as well as incumbent Democrats fighting to retain their Senate seats. Mo Olengi has more details from the White House.
President Trump is spending a lot of time in states which he won in 2016 and where incumbent Democratic senators are up for re-election. Last night, he urged Missourians to drop Claire McCaskill,
who's been saying such nice things about me. But you know what? She'll never vote with me. That's the problem.
Today, the president will make stops in West Virginia and Indiana, where Democratic Senators Joe Manchin and Joe Donnelly are both hoping to win in red states.
Just working nonstop to meet with voters, to talk to them, to have a chance to shake their hands, and to work hard to earn their vote.
The president is making immigration his central theme in the closing week, and he's been taking a much tougher stance on border security.
People have really galvanized over this.
The president has called the caravan of refugees making their way to America an invading force and has vowed to stop them.
You know, we called up the military because we're not going to let people come into our country when you look at that illegally. Not going to happen.
Thursday, the president said he would use his executive powers to limit immigrants from seeking asylum.
Asylum is not a program for those living in poverty.
And he authorized the military to use deadly force against any immigrants throwing rocks at them. Mo Olengi, CBS News, the White House.
And the vice president is headed to Wisconsin ahead of Tuesday's election. Governor Scott Walker will be campaigning with Vice President Mike Pence tomorrow in Hudson, Wisconsin. That's about 20 minutes from St. Paul, Minnesota. The event will take place at a trucking company in Hudson. Doors open at 11:15. For more information on what you need to know before you head to the polls, just go to channel3000.com. You'll find a News 3 voter guide on our homepage. The first ever blood test for autism developed by a Madison company is now available, but only on a limited basis to doctors and parents. The Wisconsin State Journal reports a physician has to order the blood sample to be taken to a local lab, then shipped to Neuron Point DX. That's in Madison for testing. Because of strict shipping requirements, the company is still working to select labs that are qualified to take the samples. They're also working to get insurance companies to cover the cost. That would be about $750 out of pocket. The test can identify biomarkers that researchers say 30% of children on the autism spectrum share. If a child tests positive, it's a sign that they should be evaluated by a specialist. Dane County is thinking about investing in a plan to connect Governor Nelson State Park to the North Mendota Trail. County Executive Joe Parisi introduced the idea to the county board yesterday. His proposal would allow the county to acquire nearly 6 acres in the community of Bishops Bay to connect the trail to the state park. The total project would cost around $200,000, money that would come from the Dane County Conservation Fund. A release said that the expansion hopes to increase safety for people on bikes and in cars. And if you're trying to get rid of your old pumpkins or clean up your yard this weekend, we've got a reminder from the city on pickup. Crews are still going around in some neighborhoods collecting your leaves and yard waste throughout the fall. That includes weeds, yard trimmings, and any leftover Halloween gourds. You've asked to separate that stuff from any brush, as branches and other big tree clippings won't be picked up. Some areas have already wrapped up the fall pickup. You can check the schedule for your street on the City of Madison's website. And there's more to come on News 3 at noon. We'll find out what Howard's working up next in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
What we're making today is nacho everyday breakfast, but it may become your new breakfast favorite. When the weekend finally rolls around, we often have to balance how much time we need to devote to our to-do list with how much time we can spend relaxing and having fun. With the recipe we're making today, you can start your day with a fun-to-eat breakfast no matter what you have planned. And since it's fast, filling, and really tasty, you can't miss. The first thing we do is scramble a few eggs until they're fluffy. A little trick to get the fluffiest eggs ever add a touch of warm water to them before cooking them. Then we spoon our eggs over some tortilla chips that we piled onto an oven-proof platter. Over that goes some sliced breakfast sausage, crumbled bacon, fresh salsa, and lots of shredded cheddar cheese. We'll pop this in the oven, and while it warms, we'll get some scallions and jalapenos ready to sprinkle on top. Once the cheese is melted and the chips are super crispy, it's time to dig in. Think of this as a rise and shine version of your favorite Nacho Supreme. To get the recipe for our fun-to-share breakfast nachos, simply visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Task Kitchen, where today we found a nacho everyday breakfast way to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, Howard, thank you. Stay with us. Meteorologist Chris Reese has a look at your weekend forecast. That's where News 3 at noon continues. Our Call for Action phone bank is open right now, ready to take on your consumer issues. You can call our hotline. Volunteers will help you with any consumer complaints. The number is 608-270-2833. The service is open every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 11 and 1. Let's take a look at today's business news. Here's Diane King Hall with today's Money Watch.
$250,000. That's how many jobs the economy added in October. The number was much better than expected, and the Labor Department says the nation's unemployment rate remained unchanged at 3.7%, which is the lowest level in about 5 decades. Another bright spot, pay improved, with average wages and salaries rising 3.1% in the third quarter. The first FDA-approved cannabis-based drug is now available by prescription in every state. Epidiolex was approved to treat seizures associated with 2 rare forms of epilepsy that begin in childhood. The drug is made from a marijuana component that doesn't get people high. Subaru is recalling over 400,000 vehicles, including 80,000 cars it builds for Toyota. The recalled vehicles are the Subaru Forester Sports Utility, Impreza Compact, the BRZ sports car, and the Toyota Scion FRS. At issue, a faulty engine part that could cause stalling. All the models were made in 2012 and 2013. And Oscar Mayer is making a bold claim with a statement it posted on Twitter Thursday saying a hot dog is a sandwich and daring people to prove the company wrong. The meat manufacturer set up a 24-hour hotline to give hot dog lovers a chance to dispute or support its claim. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Diane King Hall.
And thank you. The Dow Industrial is down 142 points at the noon hour. The NASDAQ also down 25 points. Q106 Farm Director Pam Yaki out of the radio barn today, so here are your farm numbers. So is a hot dog a sandwich or not?
I think it is, personally.
I do too.
It's within a bun.
Bun
You
and
have
some
to-
meat? Yeah, I know.
I think it's a sandwich.
All right.
It all digests the same anyway.
It does.
All right.
Long weekend coming up. An extra hour's worth.
Yeah, we're going to have an extra hour of a weekend. I cannot wait to sleep in, but you're going to want to take a nap, maybe, after I get through this forecast and hope that it's all just a dream, because we've got a lot going on, along with a little intrusion of some Arctic air, perhaps the first one of the season that could be coming in by this time next week. Right now, 45 degrees is the temperature. We do still have those winds coming out of the east at 5 miles per hour. That's kind of been our theme just about all morning long. Temperatures are all in the 40s for us. Thank you. Wisconsin Dells finally made it out of the 30s. 45 for us, 46 for our friends down in Janesville. We're doing things out just a little bit, and we do have some upper 30s across the northern tier of the state. Same as you work your way back into Minnesota. Those areas could actually get in on some snow this weekend. What we're paying attention to is this region of low pressure over northwestern Iowa right now. That's going to be taking a track towards the UP of Michigan. As it does so, it will be increasing our rain chances. Let's go ahead and take you hour by hour through tonight and into the weekend. 32 degrees is where we'll likely see a lot of those overnight lows. Then those clouds really begin to increase into tomorrow. We'll get in on a strong southwesterly or southeasterly wind into tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures will spike up to the upper 40s and low 50s again. By about 8:30, rain start to increase around the Mississippi River Valley. That overspreads south central Wisconsin through 11:30. Check out some snow on the leading edge of that. And pretty much all day Sunday, we're going to be locked in with a lot of rain and a lot of wind as well. In fact, here's Future Track just showing how some of those wind gusts will play out. While, yes, things are rather quiet right now, notice the wind gusts begin to pick up as we go into your Saturday night, and into Sunday. These are sustained winds coming in at anywhere from about 15 to 20 miles per hour. But that is probably not the windiest system we will see, but that'll come on through here through Sunday. Monday into Tuesday, here comes the next system. That one will really intensify over the Great Lakes. That one has the potential to have 25 to 30 mile per hour sustained winds. Cold air on the backside of that could cause the rain to end as a little bit of some light flurries. So as we focus in on your voter forecast, here's how things are expected to shape up as of now. Throughout the morning, temperatures in the 40s, a lot of heavy rain. Temperatures will also be dropping throughout the day. 43 at lunchtime with more showers. By dinner time, temperatures in the 30s. You'll likely have showers, possibly mixed with a snowflake or two as that comes to an end. But we could see an inch or two of rain out of this across the state. Some folks could see upwards of maybe 2 towards 3 inches of rain. So we're going to watch the heavy rain potential as that system comes on through. And then comes the cold air right on behind that. And that, whoo, I don't even want to talk about it. There's a lot of cold air associated with that. Temperatures towards the end of the next 10 days will be very much below average. So this afternoon, 48 degrees for your high. Same for your Saturday. Saturday, tomorrow, very much like today, except those rain chances will be increasing as we head into Sunday, which could be heavy rain. Then next week, towards the end of it, we'll have some days where we do struggle to get out of the 30s, and that's being optimistic because if I'm being fully transparent, as I like to do as a forecaster, there are some models that as we get towards next weekend do not get us above about 25 or so for those daytime highs. So we're being optimistic and keeping the forecast warm, but we will see how that trends over the next 10 days.
I am voting no on that forecast.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, okay, I love winter, but let's make it a little bit warmer for now. We don't want to.
More of a transition.
Yes, exactly.
All right, Chris, thank you. There's more to come on News 3 at noon. Up next, we always show you the tasty creations they're cooking up over in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, but now there's a museum showcasing the worst of culinary industry has to offer. That story's coming up on News 3 at noon. Well, stomachs are churning at a food museum in Sweden where rotting fish, maggot-infested cheese, and dry turtle soup are on the menu. CBS's Tina Kraus has the story from London.
Bon appetit. At Sweden's newest museum, visitors are invited to taste and smell the exhibits, if they can stand the stench.
Oh, you gotta smell it.
The Disgusting Food Museum features international delicacies, including mouse wine from China and cheese from Sardinia filled with maggots.
The most disgusting and the most smelliest item we have here is the Icelandic shark. It tastes like chewing on a urine-infested mattress.
While some hold their noses, others face their food fears head-on.
I thought it was fun to walk around and read about all the different disgusting foods around the world.
The exhibit is meant to entertain, but also aims to change people's preconceptions about unfamiliar foods, like sheep eyeball juice or fruit bat soup from Asia.
There would be no Disgusting Food Museum without Vegemite. It's loved in Australia, but to the rest of the world, nah, it's disgusting.
I think it's really interesting because things like Vegemite, which we find really normal at home, like we'll eat that every day for breakfast, are next to things like the shark.
The curator admits some people have lost their lunch.
It's okay to vomit because our entry tickets are not really tickets, they're printed on vomit bags.
The museum serves up American tastes too, including Jell-O salad and root beer, proving one person's disgust is another person's dinner. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
And the Swedish Museum features 80 disgusting foods. Organizers hope the exhibit encourages people to try more sustainable food products like insects and lab-grown meat. Hope you're not eating lunch, folks.
I'm eating lunch after this, so I guess I'm just going to go home and fast for the rest of the day.
You can have some Jell-O. That's disgusting,
I have
too.
no idea. But all right, here's how things are going to shape up. Going through the rest of the day, a mix of sun and clouds will continue. Temperatures should top out right around 48 degrees. Tomorrow, almost a carbon copy of today, but we get cloudier into the afternoon and evening. Rain chances throughout Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
Wow.
Don't forget, set the clocks an hour back Saturday night into Sunday. I just want to make sure I do my due diligence to remind everyone.
And the Badger game should be dry.
The Badger game should be dry. That is good news.
All right, that's our time for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 4 o'clock. In the meantime, have a great afternoon.
Making plans that are weather dependent? Get an accurate 12-hour, even a 10-day forecast. Download the Channel 3000 First Alert Weather app and start planning.